Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and may peace and blessings be multiplied to the hopeful and faithful elect, to the brothers preaching this truth and sincerity and charity. I want to title the name of this sit down, GMS, we do not recruit, because like a whole lot of, various other camps, not having to mention any names, they kind of got a recruiting gimmick. But we don't recruit, and we don't have to recruit, because number one, ultimately Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, he does all the recruiting. This whole thing is spiritual. But I want to start with this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 2. It say, "Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain." Now that banner is the truth, okay? And that high mountain is, mountains represent governments in the scriptures. So we lifting up the truth in this mountain of Babylon, which is America. Exalt the voice to them, that them is the Israelites, the heathens, everybody. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. You know what I'm saying? Shake the hand. Now, I'm gonna precept that scripture with 58:1, because everybody not shaking the hand. Everybody, when you got your grandmother or your father, when they talk to you, they wagging that finger at you, they rebuking you. You know what I'm saying? It's basically saying rebuke, in this particular part, rebuke the Israelites that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Because in the scriptures, the gates of the nobles, that's supposed to represent the wise men have learned in the law, or in the scriptures of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? So you don't know what to do, but going to the gates of the nobles, they're going to tell you what you got to do, for salvation. But I want to get Isaiah 58 more to let you know about that wagging the hand. Because you say shake the hand. Now how are you doing that? Isaiah 58:1, it say, "Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins." Now people don't want to hear that. People don't want you to lift up your voice like a trumpet and expose their faults and wrongs. But the scriptures, the Lord ordained us to do that. When you read Isaiah 13, he said, "My sanctified ones." Sanctified can go back to the word holy, which means separated, which means the Lord he took us out of this world. And 1 Corinthians, I think it's 1 Corinthians 2:15. Let me get that, because number one, a spiritual man judges all things, but people don't want to be judged, But righteous judgment is according to the scriptures. It says, I'll go to verse 14. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14. It says, "But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned." Now you can't carnally receive the truth, basically. You can't even perceive and understand the righteousness in it, how sensible it is, because you seeking it carnally. But verse 15 it says, "But he that is spiritual judgeth all things." He that is spiritual judges the things that pertains to the spirit and the things that pertain to the flesh, to the carnal, because it says all things. And it say, "Yet he himself is judged of no man." Why? Because if someone's a spiritual man, that means that if he's a spiritual man, a righteous spiritual man according to the laws of the Lord, then how can a carnal man who can't even understand the things of the spirit be on the same plane to judge that man? He can't, because the scripture say he is judged of no man. Why? Because I'm gonna stay in 1 Corinthians. I'm gonna go to chapter 6. Because this is the rubric of judgment, the scriptures, the law. That's the balance. That's the scales of judgment. That's how everything is weighed out by the spiritual man. The spiritual man don't do nothing unless it's according to the law. You know what I'm saying? If it's outside of the law, then it's not considered. You're not even gonna think twice about doing something that's against the law. If you do think twice about it, that's Satan. That's the battle within itself. But 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 6, it says, "But brother goeth to the law with brother, and that before the unbelievers." So That's how we do with each other. When they say when you gotta basically you gotta argue with your brother, you take it to him and you resolve it. But how do you resolve it? You resolve it with the law. Also with unbelievers, when the Lord, he commanded his sanctified ones to go out and on the highways and byways, cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show the house of Jacob, my people, their sins. How are we showing them their sins? With the scriptures. The scriptures say don't do this. The scriptures say don't do that. But Israel don't like judgment. Israel don't like righteous judgment, man. But it says, verse 7, it is going to go into it. It says, now therefore there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to the law with one another. Why do ye not rather take wrong? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? So that's just telling you, you know, the children of Israel don't want to accept that they wrong. They don't. It says, I'm gonna read that verse again. It says, now therefore there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. So that's saying that it's a valid reason. There's obviously a fault if you have to go to the law. You know what I'm saying? So okay, that's all right. You got a valid point now. We just went to the law. Okay, it's worthy. Whatever the discrepancy might be, is worthy to go to the law. Okay. Now that you went to the law, it says, why do ye not rather take wrong? Okay, you've been proven wrong according to the law, so you got to accept it and change. Keep reading. Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? Okay, all right, Salakia, you know, I was in the wrong, or you know what I'm saying, what do I got to do to change? How can I be, you know, how can I be saved or whatever? That's what that scripture said, but the children of Israel, they don't want to hear that, man. And that's why I named this sit down particularly GMS, don't recruit, because number one, as stated earlier, Yahweh Shai, he's doing all the recruiting, you know, because Yahweh Shai himself said, they are mine and mine are thine. So the elect is already accounted for. You know, the Lord already know who the elect gonna be, but we don't know who the elect gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? He know who the elect is. You know, but as far as back to the don't recruit, man, because number one, it's not about membership, and the scripture says anyway. It says you shall know a tree by its fruit. You know, GMS got worldwide fruit. Okay, I mean, you got brothers all over the world waking up, and we be watching videos. I done seen videos, seeing brothers out there on the highways and byways in different languages, crying aloud and sparing not, man. The scripture say you shall know a tree by its fruit. You ain't gotta recruit. The truth gonna do all the recruiting. Okay, I want to get Ezekiel 2 and 5. It says, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. You know, so we going out there to the highways and byways, whether you listen or whether you don't listen, what? The Lord has commanded his sanctified ones, you know? And the scripture says, Yahweh said, his will is to do the meat of his Father, you know? And that's what we got to do. We've been commanded to go out there to the highways and byways, whether they hear or whether they will forbear. Because the Lord knows that 2/3 of them going to forbear. Because he says, for they are a rebellious house. Yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them. So ain't nobody going to be able to say, oh, well, I didn't know. Or why didn't you tell me? Because he said that y'all will rebellious house. So ain't nobody going to have excuses. There's a prophet among them. Okay? Let me go to Matthew 22 and 9. Matthew 22 and 9, verse 9. It says, go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, be it to the marriage. Okay? And that's exactly what we doing, man. We out there trying to let our people know that it's salvation out there, that there's rest. You know what I'm saying? There's rest within Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. That is, you know, it's a cease to all this vain laboring that we doing. Because number one, when you go back into the books of Moses, it ain't supposed to be no poor among us. But we poor, man, and we gonna remain poor until we get delivered. You know what I'm saying? We poor in spirit, we poor in substance, you know, and you can't even add into your own house. And what I mean when I say that is, if You got a job and you want to build up wealth and you want to build up whatever you want to do for your family or whatever to that effect. At the end of the day, you still got to pay some type of taxes, whether it be a land tax or a car insurance, you know, or a marriage tax, or everything. This devil, this so-called white man Esau, which is headed by the Rothschilds, they're accounting for everything. And then it's getting so bad, now the chip getting out, you know? This chip is going to be forced on the masses of people, and the country, the world is in such dire straits that the heathens going to take it. You know, we ain't worried about the heathens, but the majority of the Israelites going to take it. You know, because they ain't got no hope. They rejecting wisdom right there. You know what I'm saying? That's back until, you know what I'm saying, GMS, we don't recruit, man. Because we don't have to recruit, and this ain't for everybody. The Lord ain't looking for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these other camps, man. This not that Christianity doctrine. We gonna pray for you. We not gonna pray for you. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shai said, I pray for them, not for the world, man. Even Jeremiah said, I pray not for this people, man. We not this ain't that. We gonna pray for you. We gonna get you together and just come on in, brother. Come as you are. No, this ain't that, man. This is either get right or you gonna die. And when we say you gonna die, this ain't that. Oh, everybody gonna die. That doctrine, because you know a lot of people, you only live once. You gotta die sometimes, but the scriptures don't say that. It say some of you shall not taste death, man. Some people not gonna die. You know what I'm saying, in this lifetime. Some people gonna be delivered out of that missile fire. But that's what we mean when we say you're gonna die. Is that missile fire. And it's not gonna be your imagination where you just gonna be struck with a missile and you just gonna perish within an instant. Ain't no telling, because the Lord, Yahweh say, Yahweh Bashem Shai say he gonna put his spirit within that, man. So ain't no telling what's gonna be happening to you or how long you just gonna be enduring that torment, man. This is, I want to go to 1 John 2:19 for my next point. Okay, this is 1 John chapter 2, verse 19. It says, they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us, but they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. So you got some people, you know, that's faking the funk, so to speak. You got some people that's, you know what I'm saying, because I forget the scripture, but Yahweh Shai said, they shall know you of me by how you treat one another. Like, you know what I'm saying, brothers in the truth, we treat each other like, I don't want to say perfectly, but we treat like supposedly, like for the most part, what I witness, we treat each other very good, man, because it's according to the scriptures. Because it's countless times stated in the scriptures where it says even the second greatest commandment is say, love thy neighbor as thy love thyself. Your neighbor is your fellow Israelite brother, man, in the truth. Okay, and other one, it said, no greater love than a man lay down his life for his friend, man. Something like that, you know. So that's how we interact with each other, man. And people may see that on the outside, and people may try to creep in unawares and enjoy some of that camaraderie we have with each other. You know, I'm gonna read that scripture again because that's kind of what it's saying. It say they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. You know, they would have stayed doing the work. They would have stayed going to the highways and byways. Like, for example, within GMS, you know, you may have fellow GMS members get kicked out. What happened? Just because they're not part of GMS, do that mean that they're not obligated to do the work of the Lord, of Yahweh Bashem Shai, as one of his sanctified and ordained prophets? No. You know, because if it says, if they had been of us, they would have no doubt have continued with us. Okay? But it says, but they went out that they might be made manifest. To manifest means to be made known. that they were not all of us. So, you know, like even like Judas Iscariot, you know, before he was manifested to be the devil, Yahushua said, out of these, I chose these 12, and even out of one of you 12, one of you is the devil. So Yahushua knew, but it wasn't manifested, you know what I'm saying, in the physical, you know what I'm saying, that Judas Iscariot was the devil, because if it was, the 12 would have known. But it wasn't, it was just like the same thing with a false brother. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with false brethren, man. It may seem, you know, like they may or may not be, they may be a brother, you know what I'm saying, a sincere, honest brother, but until it's manifested to be made known in the physical, that's when you know that they don't continue in the work, you know. I want to get Jude 1 and 4 real quick to further elaborate on that point, because Jude 1 and 4 says this. It says, "For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord power, and our Lord Yahushua and Mashiach." Okay, because you know what I'm saying, the brothers, false brethren crept in unawares, because number one, everything ain't no spontaneity. Okay, there's no spontaneous actions going on right now. Everything the Lord knows, the Lord preordained. Everything that's happening, the Lord already preordained it to happen. So if you are the elect, you already destined. You were already predestined to be the elect. And it's the same thing with the 2/3. If you the 2/3, you are already predestined to be the 2/3. That's why it say who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. You know what I'm saying? Ungodly men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness. You know what? And I know what that word lasciviousness means, but I don't want to use my words. I want to get a better an overall definition of it, because I know it has something to do with unruly. So they turned the truth into unbridled lust, excess, licentiousness, wantonness. Wanton, just all whimsical, like, all right, yeah, whatever. Okay? Shamelessness, insolence, okay? Filthy, you know? Not loving the truth, not appreciating the truth, you know, because number one, we don't know if we are the elect. That's why we the hopeful elect. You know, we hope. That's why the scripture says we prisoners of hope, because it'll be a shameful and a terrible thing to fall off the truth. You know. I want to end it with this scripture. Okay, Romans 8 and 29. It says, "For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren." You know, like the same way that there's men predestined to condemnation. There's men predestined for salvation. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like the Lord know the 2/3 was already known, and the 1/3 is already known. The Lord already ordained who that is. Let me read that scripture one more time. "For whom he did foreknow." That word "for" means before. So before it was even thought about being manifested, before it was even in our knowledge of knowing, it was already written, basically. He also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? It says, Paul said, be like me, because I am like Christ, or I am like Mashiach. It's something like that. I'm butchering, I know, but that's who I walk like. You know, his life was that example of for how us to be. You know what I'm saying? He gave the perfect example, so we got to conform to him. You know what I'm saying?